A landscape architect of extreme designer, yes.
Horticulturist.
His horticulture, and by the way, now award-winning. Congratulations from your alma mater.
Thank you.
His client is a who's who list of American well-to-do. It's the American actors and actresses, Martha's Vineyard, Connecticut. We can't tell you his client, but what he does for them is he designs gardens that bring them pleasure, and those folks are able to pay a premium for his skills. He does the exact same thing for us. And we bring to you fun stuff.
And food.
Yes.
We've got food, sunny side up over here. Who doesn't like a good breakfast? We've got what we call edible ornamentals today, and this is a brand new garden, our Tuscan container garden.
Every year I challenge Cottage Farms and Philip Watson, I'm the fat guy here, to bring us edibles. I'm a farmer, not a gardener. So they bring to us, and this is really different. These are different tomatoes than any other tomatoes that we do.
Correct.
We do a lot of the little button tomatoes and a lot of the little cherry tomatoes. These are sauce tomatoes.
That's correct. For paste and also for gumbos, it's a great thick tomato. This is like a type of Roma tomato.
Yes.
And I love this particular one. It's called Little Napoli. And it's great for tomato paste if you like to make your own pizzas, or if you want something that's going to be, you make regular tomatoes, they're not going to make the soup thick.
Right.
This makes the soup absolutely thick, great on your pizzas and also beside your omelets.
This is the only quantities that we're going to have for the entire season. We brought in 3,000 of these sets. Let me run around to the front and show you what you're going to get really quickly.
Yeah,
you're going to get the Napoli tomatoes.
Look how beautiful that is.
You're going to get basil. Thai basil.
2 different colors.
Yep. And then you're also going to get, wait a minute.
The marigolds.
And didn't the fat guy say that this was an edibles? Well, people who are gardeners understand if you put marigolds next to the things you want to eat, that the bugs get drawn to the marigolds instead of eating your tomatoes.
That's correct. It's an old farmer's trick, but there's the basil close up. You see we got the beautiful purple one right there, and it's called Basil. It's actually a dark reddish purple.
That's
also the
beautiful.
frilly greens next to it. Those get 24 to 30 inches tall. The little Napoli tomato is only 24 to 30 inches tall, and then you're getting 2 of the marigolds, which are the crested yellow marigolds. And look how beautiful this looks together. And this is why I call it an edible ornamental. You got the bright yellow that draws your eye in. You've got your great paste tomatoes back here for cooking, or also to put in omelets. This is the tomato that doesn't fall apart when you cook it in the omelet.
Yep.
You know how your tomatoes sometimes make the omelet fall apart?
Because they're too watery.
Right,
Yep.
not this one.
I agree.
Then you got your frilly green basil in here.
And
you've also
look
got
at
the
that.
deep red basil. And by the way,
so you have an entire garden in one pot.
Sent that way.
This year.
It is sent to you that way.
I challenged Philip as a farmer. This year I said I was not going to plant any vegetables in the ground.
Yeah.
That everything would be done in pots.
Yes.
Or at eye level. And so they've created an amazing Tuscan garden. Look at that, it's already starting to bloom.
And this is what I'm shipping to you. In other words, you're not going to have to put this together. It's already in its container.
Put it in a bigger container.
Put it in a larger container. You can put it in a 12 or 14 inch diameter container. And what I do is I'll put mine inside of a plastic pot. Then I slip it into an ornamental pot or a basket.
Okay.
That way at the end of the season, I can just take it out. Then I can put it in a pot of pansies.
That's beautiful.
And it's beautiful. The pot stays out all the time. We got a nice Tuscan pot to go with it.
And I'm so excited that we did this tomato.
Yeah.
So many of the tomatoes that you see, especially garden centers, they're all generic.
Right.
They're all just your regular tomato. This is a true
Little Napoli.
Yeah.
Because
it's a sauce tomato.
And as you can see, because it's already growing big already, this will be your first tomato too. You go to the garden center and you can buy a big tomato plant, but the big tomato plant invariably will cost more than this entire collection.
There's a running joke. Running joke. Tomatoes are the only thing that everybody gets really excited about. Spending $50 to to save $1.28 on tomatoes.
Yeah, ridiculous. And then you got
But
to
these
drive
tomatoes
there.
you can't get usually even in the grocery store.
You can't, and you won't find this combination. We put this whole thing together, and there's the beautiful marigolds. There are 2 of these in the collection. So you've got cut flowers. You've also got the bright yellow right there. And by the way, you know why they have all the yellow strips in greenhouses? Because that keeps off whiteflies and things like that.
I didn't know that.
That's what I love about that. But there is the Roma tomato, which is the little Napoli, which is a dwarf version of the Roma. There are the 2 different basils that you've got there, really, really fragrant. And an omelet is not an omelet unless you've got the basil and the tomatoes beside it.
And having fresh green.
Smell how nice that is. I mean, summer has arrived.
It is. I forgive this, but if you know someone who is Italian.
Well, if we live in Westchester, we know lots of them.
And they will cry because of it. To grow these tomatoes, it's like being back in Tuscany.
Yeah, having
being able to go
the
out
perfect spaghetti sauce with your basil right on top.
Yeah, you were pouring that on the ground. Oops, okay.
Sorry about that.
The basil, it is superb. It is absolutely superb. And the idea of the marigolds in the front to draw the bugs away from your feast.
Yeah.
That's only the first item in the show. We only were able to get 3,000 of these for the entire year, the entire season. Already now we're down to a point where there's only about how many? 2,500 that are remaining.
Okay, and you'll love these. It's all done for you. And be sure to pick up our fertilizer too for fruits and vegetables. 40 gallons worth of this, no mess, no fuss, and you can use it on all of your fruit trees, if you've got fig bushes and all of your